Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about Ink Master and all of the secrets that have been spilled about the show in the 13 seasons that it's been on air to find out if Ink Master is real or not. If you're new here, my name is Sally EST, and you can catch me here every Wednesday talking about everything you ever wanted to know about tattoos. Ink Master is essentially a huge test for tattoo artists on their skills as more of like a jack of all trades type of artist. It's essentially like the bar exam, but no one goes to school. You just have to learn everything on your own, and if you mess up, they roast the shit out of you publicly.
Well, Roland, I think I speak for every single person in this room when I look at that cat and I say, what the
So I have a love-hate relationship with Ink Master. On one hand, it's so entertaining and I do really like to watch it. But on the other hand, there's been just too many instances of really problematic messages and ideas spread on the show to their huge fan base. Ink Master was officially canceled in 2020 after the Oliver Peck blackface scandal. Ew. Oliver Peck was fired from the show, and then earlier this year, Paramount did announce that they're bringing Ink Master back for a 14th season in 2022. Personally, I'm really excited for the 14th season. I hope that they use this as an opportunity to change the show and focus more on the actual art and less on just like the random cringy drama that they have done in the past. So let's jump into whether or not Ink Master is fake. Reality TV shows are essentially supposed to capture reality, right? So you put a bunch of people in a certain situation and film it and see what happens. But that's not always the case, and it seems like many people theorize that Ink Master is pretty scripted, and there is actually quite a bit to that theory. Many fans rate the level of cringe pretty high, with some Ink Master moments, and they're convinced that the show is scripted due to how some people say things and just how super random the show can be sometimes.
How far can I push the limits? Who will get me to my limit?
I'm feeling very nervous right now.
Oh, no way. Hola.
Luckily for us, a few tattoo artists who competed on the show in various seasons have come out and publicly made comments on if Ink Master is scripted or not. In an Instagram stories post, Jessica Bigelow from season 13 responded to the question, how scripted is Ink Master? She said, "It's not scripted. There are times where we need to discuss things maybe we wouldn't normally discuss. So that sucks, and the emotions you see portrayed are real. Of course, there are scenes that are too long to air, so they show the most important parts. Essentially, it's a game contest, and we all compete differently, and you get to watch how we compete. Now the pressure takes its toll on us. We aren't acting behind the camera, but we also can't help the way we look once it's edited." So it sounds like what she's saying is it's as real as it can be for being a reality TV show. And that might be true. It might be. But earlier this year, Tyler Nolan, who was on season 6 of Ink Master, was brutally honest with his fans in a video that he made back in July. So this is what he said. 99% of it is complete BS. So sorry Ink Master fans out there, the show's a bunch of crap. Everybody has earpieces and all the canvases are getting told how to act. And it's all a bunch of fake crap. The judges don't even get to say what they want to say. The judges are being told what to say by a producer, who is this lady named Andrea, who is also the producer of Survivor and a bunch of other shows. She's a 55-year-old woman who has like 7 kids, and she's a terrible person. Honestly, she's like the most miserable person in the world. Something tells me Tyler wasn't supposed to say all of that publicly, but I mean, the video is public. Anyone can watch it. I can link it below if you don't believe me. But yeah, Tyler just really went off on Andrea with that. Damn.
Boom. Roasted.
You definitely can't watch Ink Master and say that this is 100% real. But what's definitely true is that they film a lot and they cut it down to a super short episode. So in a way, the editors have a lot of control over the narrative of the show. The YouTuber MUA Lien made a video about her experience being on season 10 as a dark-skinned canvas. She said that she had a great time on set, but when it came to the post-production, she felt like she was made out to look crazy and aggressive, and she wasn't cool with that. But that's what ended up in the final airing of the show she was on. I'm sure they make the canvases sign just like so many releases to use the video of them in any way that Ink Master wants, but to think that they could just take anything you say out of context and make you sound horrible is like super frightening to me. Now, there's been a lot of varied reports on the time limit that the artists have to complete their tattoos. The show usually gives them 6 hours for a pretty standard challenge. Some challenges are longer or shorter, but the standard number is about 6. Pretty much in every episode, there's always 1 or 2 tattoo artists that are going to the absolute last second of their 6 hours, and there's so much tension and drama built up around if they're gonna finish their tattoo or not. But it seems like that might just be all played up for TV. Corey Matcham, who was a human canvas from season 5, went on Reddit and revealed a lot about the show. This is what he said. No one ever came down to the wire. Most artists finished hours before, some even went over 6 hours. They apparently were able to have as many breaks as they want. Corey said you could take all the breaks at free will as long as your artist was cool with it. I took about 3 smoke breaks during, and that's about all. It's possible the relaxed timeline was just something specific to Corey's season, because other artists and canvases have said that the 6-hour tattooing rule is like the only real part of the show. Tyler Nolan actually said that in the video I referenced before. But back to Corey's Reddit thread, a user asked if any of the arguments are staged, and Corey responded that they aren't directly asked to argue, but there's no real tension on set, and the artists are made aware. The more of a scene created, the more the cameras will focus on you. Emily was my artist on day 1, and when the cameras were not rolling, nicest human being. And when the cameras were rolling, it seems a little counterintuitive to me to put on a mean or argumentative persona for the cameras, but like Corey said, the cameras are going to focus on the most dramatic things happening in the room. So in a way, if you want more attention on yourself or your artwork potentially, creating some drama, some arguments is a pretty easy way of doing that. Something that's also staged, according to Corey, is the headphones that the human canvases wear while they're being tattooed. So this is clearly a product placement. The producers apparently walk over, put headphones on to film, and then when they're done, they'll take the headphones away. But Corey said you're also not allowed to have your phones, music, books, or anything in the room with you. On top of all of that, Corey said that even the conversation you have with your tattoo artist is limited as well. And if you talk about anything personal, the producers will hush you to not talk about that. So in a way, the show is getting rid of pretty much every single thing you could possibly have in a tattoo studio that could distract you from the tattooing. And I don't know about any of you, but I rely on distractions when I'm getting tattooed so that I'm not like hyper fixated on the pain of the tattoo. This might be why some of the canvases freak out so much when they're being tattooed on the show. Like there's always that one canvas that's just screaming over like everyone else's audio the whole time. I kind of get it because all you have to focus on is how much your tattoo's hurting. But yeah, some of them are still really extreme. So let's move on to the Human Canvas jury. The Human Canvas jury only lasted a few seasons, and it's when all of the canvases who were tattooed in a certain episode come together and vote on whose tattoo is the worst. This used to be one of my favorite parts of the show because the Human Canvas jury got pretty ruthless when some people had super bad tattoos that they were in denial about. Sometimes there were too many bad tattoos to even make a decision, but the whole Human Canvas jury is usually just a recipe for disaster, and it definitely made great TV. According to Corey though, the Human Canvas jury was almost completely fake. He said, "The jury was bunk. It was highly motivated by what the producers told us to say. We did get to speak our minds, but it never aired. We chose an entirely different tattoo for the bottom also, which never made it, and it seems the show made it look like we picked a different one." So maybe that's why the producers took the Human Canvas jury away, because they didn't even care what they said in the first place. I feel like they should bring the human jury back though in like a real way, because while the judges are really good at judging tattoos, obviously on the quality of the artwork, I think the opinions of people who like tattoos and who get tattoos are also really important to tattoo artists. Because if you think about it, in the real world, these would be your clients. So arguably, I feel like their opinion actually should matter a lot more in the show. Overall, everyone that was reportedly on Ink Master had a really good experience being on set. While they weren't paid for being on the TV show, they got the tattoo for free, and they were fed breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In Corey's case, he was there for a 12-hour tattoo, so that was 2 days, and production covered his hotel for the night as well as his transportation cost to get to the set every day. The producers also apparently put a lot of effort into the application process, making sure they know what each human canvas wants, as well as making sure they understand fully that they might come out with something that they don't like before they even sign up for the show. I wanted to end this video with an interesting discussion that was posted on the Ink Master Reddit thread. User Arts for Farts posted this. They said, "How accurately does Ink Master capture tattoo artists and tattoo culture?" I thought this was a great question because it goes back to what we said in the beginning, that reality TV is supposed to be reality, but how much of Ink Master is like getting tattooed in the real world? And user Bison Williams 19 had some really interesting comments to this question. They said, "The competitors on the show, these people are characters and seemingly act out roles and personas. Tattoo artists in real life are just people, not the two-dimensional cartoon characters the show portrays." I just thought that discussion point was really interesting, and I don't even know where I fall with my answer with this one. But if someone were to have never gone to a tattoo shop before, would watching Ink Master prepare them for that experience? I don't know, but I would love to know what you guys think about that point specifically. What do you guys think? Let me know. But that is all I have for you guys today on the secrets of Ink Master and if it's real or fake. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you have, leave me this emoji in the comments so that I know that you are a real one. Bye everyone.